are so excited. We have Dan Leighton joining us here. Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing amazing.
Very good. Very good.
So you have started this online education assistance program, and it is amazing. I have gotten to learn a little bit about it. There are a lot of people that may have no idea what it is that you guys are doing here at Foothills. So can you share what this program is?
Most certainly. The OEAP is just providing students assistance in regards to the online, trying to help families out that are struggling. I think a majority of the families that are in the Malala community in Colton, and even some of the kids that are in the online education already, just not having the support that they need within the homes because both parents are working. So we created this program that the kids can come here face to face, be with three certified teachers at one time, and get assistance in all of their work and holding them accountable and getting their work done.
That's awesome. Holding them accountable is really important when you're doing online education.
I think that's the biggest one of the biggest hurdles we have. Is holding the kids accountable. So that they're at least meeting their parents' expectations.
Absolutely. And so how many kids do you have in this program?
We have a total of 65 students right now.
65 students.
Yeah, we have 30 high school and 35 middle school
Wow,
age kids.
that is amazing. And so not only are you providing education assistance for them while they're doing this online, but tell me a little bit, what does that do for the families?
Oh, it's
oh my gosh.
It's from the feedback in which I'm getting from the families, it's just like a sigh of relief for them, because and I wish we could do 4 days a week. Right now the high schoolers are with me for 2 days a week, and the middle schoolers are for 2, but that seems to be enough because they're following the structure when they go home and when they're online at home. So I have forms that they have to follow on all of this, but it's a huge relief. And one of the big things that I get most of the feedback from parents is the parents' communication on how their day was, because they were working all day long. They come home. It's a whole different type of communication now, instead of, so how was your day? Oh, terrible. It's totally a different type of communication. They're talking, they're engaged about what they're learning in each of their classes, and so it's a huge relief for a lot of the families.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So you retired from teaching, so you've got a little bit of a background in teaching here.
Yes, after 30 years, yes.
So how did this happen? How did this get started? What made you say yes to what God was putting on your heart to start this online program?
I broke my heart in March to hear that we were going to go back to online schooling after go into online schooling, and then when they decided in September that they were going to continue with the online school, I said no. I've watched teenage depression, anxiety levels, aggressive behaviors, you name it, created from this isolation. And as soon as I heard that they were going to in September continue with the online, Jesus spoke to me and said, no, you're not going to allow it. And I said, okay. And so I just hit Facebook, and I was overwhelmed by the number of responses that I got. It was unbelievable how many. I was thinking, from a small little post, I think I got 200 responses, and I was like, oh, there is a need. And so, and then I contacted Foothills, and here we are.
So I have a 6th grader, and I'm able to be at home with that 6th grader all during the day, and I understand how much I have to help him, and even recognizing that isolation that still comes, even though there's a Zoom call. So what you guys are providing is absolutely transforming these kids.
It's, Zoom is not a typical way of communicating. Face to face. I mean, and seeing the kids just being able to, from a distance, being able to communicate. It's music to my ears. I mean, it's like, okay, it gets loud in there. But the kids put their earbuds in, and then it's cool. But in breaks and stuff, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's the interaction that's so important.
Yeah,
You know?
you let kids be kids.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
Of course.
amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So, can you recognize any sort of personal transformation that's happened since you've started this? And can you tell us a little bit about that?
When God spoke to me in regards to setting this up, it was like a transformation of I have purpose again. It was huge because it was as soon as we started the process. Even my son noticed it. He goes, "You're different." You know, I mean, it was like I had a purpose again.
Yep.
Meaning, I had a drive to be with, you know, where I know God put me, and that was, you know, to teach kids.
Yeah.
And I had that purpose again. I retired early after 30 years, but I retired early, and I did it to care for my father, and you know, I subbed to fill that void of not being with kids. And then in March, when we stopped having school, you know, it was kind of like a major depression for 6 months because I didn't have an outlet. I didn't have that. I was pretty much at home. And so this provided the opportunity to get that purpose back.
I
And
love
yeah,
that.
yeah, my spirit has grown. I'll tell you, it's been a blessing to me. You know, yeah,
much.
it's pretty awesome.
What I love the most about that, and this ties into, and you folks will hear this soon in Pastor Dale's message that talks about when we're being obedient and when we do those things, we get to experience God. And you just said, because I obeyed, I'm paraphrasing, but because I obeyed, I have received my purpose again.
Yeah.
And that's what Jesus does for our hearts, for our spirits. He just instills this purpose. And because of your yes, you are transforming, oh my gosh, so many families. 65 kids are going to talk about this for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Like you...
I hope it grows too.
I bet it... Well, people are going to hear about this. And so they're... Yeah, reach out to the office. We can connect you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank
awesome.
you. Thank you so much for your team. A formal thank you for all of what you're doing, and thank you to your entire team. You said you have 3.
Well, myself,
And 2
Janelle
other?
Davies, and Phil Hansen. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
The 3 of us are. Yeah, we're plugging away.
I
It's a
love
1 to
it.
10 ratio right now, 1 to 11 ratio. So that's perfect for
That is
education.
absolutely perfect.
You know, so it's great.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank you
yes.
very
Thank you
much.
for your obedience so that we
thank
get
you.
to watch the fruit that comes from that. Is amazing.
I'm hoping. Yes.
All right. Thanks, Dan. You
Thank
take
you.
care.
All right. Take care.
My gosh, you guys, what an amazing... Oh, I love what this is doing.
Good. Yeah. You know, I heard a couple things in that interview that I adored. One was that Dan mentioned that it broke his heart. And I think that, you know, one of my biggest prayers is that God breaks my heart for the things that break his heart. And I think that's where transformation happens, is when we see a need and we move towards it. You know, Jesus does that. He moves towards our pain. And so I love that maybe you're sitting there at home and you're thinking, you know, I've never done something so monumental. This TNT coming up is for you.
Yes,
You know, this can
absolutely.
teach how to live a life of transformation, whether it's the first time or you're looking for that next new thing that you want to be a vessel for.